Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Atlanta Falcons Today. We're going to jump into a preview of what is a very, in my opinion, winnable game against the New York Giants on Sunday. First, though, mailbag video coming up later this week. If you have Falcon-related questions, you guys know the drill at this point. Go down below, use the hashtag Falcons, ask any question related to the Giants game or just the Falcons in general you want me to answer. If you're a subscriber, I'll go ahead and pull that question most likely and get it up on a show a little bit later on this week. So go down below, ask your question right now. Let's jump into a preview of what is a very critical and important but winnable Week 3 matchup on the road against the New York Football Giants. As it currently stands, Vegas has the Giants as a 3-point favorite, which to me is a little generous, but we are going on the road, and so normally when you're on the road, you are not necessarily going to be favored by a lot, and so the Giants get a little bit of a bump there according to Vegas, but this becomes, in my opinion, a very winnable game for the Atlanta Falcons, and is their first really, winnable game of the season, leading up to a stretch of games where Atlanta can start to go on a little bit of a run here. I put in my Twitter account, @RealThomasMott, yesterday, that don't be surprised if Philadelphia is 5-3 by Week 8, because the schedule, as we talked about, opens up and it begins with a matchup against a Giants team that likewise is 0-2 and likewise has massive defensive problems. And I think different than Atlanta, the offense is still trying to figure things out. Like Atlanta's offense really started to get things rolling last week. Matt Ryan played very, very well in that almost, comeback against the a very good team in the Bucs. I mean, and then it was 28-25 at one point, but Matt Ryan's picks kind of in the defensive play kind of doomed them. But still, the offense looked a lot better than they did against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants' offense has been okay, but they still are not getting the points that we expected. And Saquon Barkley has not been playing very well for the Giants either. What's interesting, though, if you flip over to the defensive side of the football, the Giants' defense, much like Atlanta, is giving up a ton of points and a ton of yards to mediocre people. I mean, look at what Taylor Heineke did versus the Giants last Thursday night. I mean, he gave up, 336 yards to the Giants defense? They gave up 336 yards to Taylor Heineke with 2 touchdowns, a pick. He threw the ball 34 times, and they still lost that game. I mean, overall, it's the Giants defense that, to me, is gettable. It's a winnable football game, and look for a guy like Kyle Pitts to potentially have his breakout first big game of his rookie career in Atlanta. He slowly started to emerge, right? Couple of targets against the Eagles. 6 targets, 5 catches against the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think this could be the game where he gets his first touchdown, and a game where he could possibly get closer to 100 yards, because, again, tight ends have had their way against what is a very porous and very winnable Giants defense. I like this game for Atlanta. I'm going to pick them, but obviously we'll get into that here in just a couple of minutes. First, though, who do you guys have? I mean, I'm saying that the Falcons are going to win this game. Do you agree? If you do, type ATL for Atlanta. Then the Giants are going to win. Go and type NYG down below for New York. A pin comment and ad break. Give me your prediction down below right now. One thing I think we need to kind of note in on here and really focus in on is the fact that Cordell Patterson has been an absolute, godsend for the Atlanta Falcons, a team that has not been explosive from a running back perspective since Devontae Freeman was good years ago, 5-6 years ago now. They've really been trying to figure out who can be that explosive, elusive back out of the backfield, and even though Mike Davis hasn't been bad, I like what Mike Davis has done, Patterson has really been a guy to emerge for the Atlanta Falcons and really give the Falcons a different option, a different look for a lot of football teams, not just turning around and handing the football off to him, but throwing the football as well. You saw what he could do in the open field last week in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That touchdown catch was absolutely fantastic. I want to see more of Cordell Patterson and really more of this offense in general that's, again, slowly starting to come into their own. We're only 2 weeks into the season. It's still early, but I think Patterson is a key factor now to go ahead and kind of circle as you go into a game against the Giants. Now, running the football as a whole, Atlanta is still kind of bottom of the pack. The past couple of years, they've been almost dead last in total rushing yards per game, currently sitting there at 24, around teams like the Chargers, who are just under 100 at 92.5 yards per game. Like I said, Atlanta, 89.5, 24 in the 24th in the National Football League. Rams there at 87.5, Jaguars 75.5, and the Dolphins are right there at 27. And so I like what I've seen from Patterson, but the rushing yards need to come up a little bit because, as we talked about, Matt Ryan is still running for his life. I think he had the shortest time to throw the football of any quarterback last week, according to multiple. I think it was Pro Football Focus that had that one. And so if you can create a rushing attack that is feared by opponents and gash them running the football, those defensive ends are going to slide back a little bit, or not slide back, but at least not come as heavy up to rush the quarterback, and that could be a really big, advantage for the Falcons to give Matt Ryan a little bit of more time going forward. But I've loved what I've seen so far from Cordell Patterson. I picked him up off the waiver wire in my fantasy league this week, and I think that he is definitely someone to get the ball to early and often, especially against a Giants defense, as we talked about, that is very, very gettable, as they said. Now, what do you guys think? Great Patterson's play so far through the first 2 games, right? I think pretty good against the Eagles, and they stopped running the football. And then, like we said, great touchdown catch against the Tampa Bay Bucks. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give it an A-. I think he's been really, really good, and something that, for as cheap as it is, and they're paying him basically nothing here to be an Atlanta Falcon, he has been a great weapon. I'm excited to see what he's able to do on Sunday against the Giants. Give me your grade, though, for his play down below right now. Before we go ahead and keep going, get into my 5 keys to victory for the Atlanta Falcons in this game, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channels. Like I said, mailbag video coming up the next couple of days. We'll break down the game as well. We'll do Falcons news and rumors. I mean, all this stuff happens on a weekly basis here on our channel. So if you like the Atlanta Falcons, then of course you want to stay up to date on everything regarding the Falcons, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. It helps the channel grow, helps us, and gives you a channel that actually talks about your team, right? You turn on SportsCenter and how much they actually talk about the Falcons on SportsCenter on a given day. Like, couple of seconds maybe. We do it almost every single day here for 10 minutes at a time, and so help us out. If you would appreciate the channel, go down below and subscribe. All right, we'll get my keys to the game. We'll talk about 5 of them here, and we start with the idea of pushing the ball down the field. Week 1, Atlanta, did they have a pass over 20 yards? We talked about this in my recap video. I don't think they did. Like, they never seemed to take a deep shot against the Eagles, and they didn't really stretch the defense, and then the Eagles are keying in on dink and dunks, and you saw what happened. They didn't score a single touchdown against Philadelphia. Week 2, a couple more deep shots, or I guess say deeper shots against the Bucs. I want to push the ball down the field against this Giants defense. I want to take some shots with my guys like Russell Gage, who's done virtually nothing so far this year. Calvin Ridley, who got his first touchdown pass last week. Push the ball down the field. Give me some deep shots. Matt Ryan's arm is still fine, regardless of what people tell or say about it on Twitter. I want to see this offense stretch the field out a little bit, because once you're able to, those underneath crossing routes to Kyle Pitts that he's so dangerous with, especially when he gets the ball in the open field, they open up a lot more. Push the ball down the field. Come on, Atlanta, this offense, I know that they can do it. Key number 2, just mentioned it. Give Kyle Pitts like all the touches. Like, literally give Kyle Pitts the ball as much as humanly possible. I know he's a rookie, and I know he's still trying to learn, but it's not too big for him. You saw what happened whenever you got the football in his hands. That tight throw on the Falcons side of the field, into like triple coverage, where he caught the ball and ran for 20 plus yards. That's what happens when you get him the football. That's why you drafted him number 4 overall. I want to see Kyle Pitts continue to ramp up those touches, ramp up those catches, and I want to see him get his first touchdown pass in this game. Again, I'll say it like for the 50th time, against a bad Giant defense. I think Kyle Pitts getting a lot of touches is a key factor and a key point here to jump in on our key number 2 for the game. Number 3, Daniel Jones. I'm not very sold on him. I don't think Daniel Jones is a very good quarterback. Daniel Jones likes to turn the football over, so capitalize on the Daniel Jones turnover. So many times, mediocre football teams in close football games will have a chance for a strip sack, or have a chance for a fumble, or have a chance for an interception that hits them in the hands, then they drop it. Atlanta cannot afford to go ahead and do that on Sunday, as this defense, even though I think Daniel Jones can give you the football a couple of times, the Falcon defense has been very bad. 30-plus points the first 2 games. So when Daniel Jones presents you with a turnover opportunity, take advantage of it, because you don't know how many you're going to get, and you obviously want to get the ball back to Matt Ryan and give your defense a rest. That way they can potentially not give up 30 points for, again, the 3rd straight week in the National Football League. So again, take advantage of Daniel Jones. That is going to be key number 3. 2 more keys, and then my score prediction. First, though, quick shout out to our friends at BetUS. If you guys want to bet on this game, which I'll show you is what I'm doing this week, do it with our friends at BetUS, chatsports.com/betfalcons. The promo code you need is Falcons125. Get that 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up. Put $100 down. Use the promo code in our link. It turns into $225 via the deposit bonus for you to go ahead and bet on the Falcons. And that's one of my 3 big bets of the week. People ask for it every single week. What are my bets? Here's what I'm doing. Falcons are going to beat the Giants. That's my prediction. I'll give you the score in just a couple of minutes. So that means you at least predict the Falcons to cover. I mean, they're -3, +3 against the Giants, excuse me. So give me the Falcons +3. I think the Patriots are going to roll the Saints. The Saints, to me, are fool's gold. I like what New England has done so far. That defense is playing very, very well. Give me the Patriots to win outright, -3. And the Raiders are a massive surprise this year. I don't think anyone expected their defense to be as prolific as it was. I mean, they were going all after Big Ben last week, and of course, they beat Lamar week 1. The Dolphins are a dumpster fire. Excuse me, Tua's probably not going to play. Give me the Raiders going -4 against the Dolphins. Those are my 3 picks of the week. Okay, number 4 on our keys. We'll jump back into my 5 keys here. You got to protect Matt Ryan, and they did a little bit better of a job against the Bucs, but against the Dolphins, those are my 3 picks of the week. Okay, number 4 on our keys. We'll jump back into my 5 keys here. You got to protect Matt Ryan, and they did a little bit better of a job against the Bucs, but we talked about earlier, he's having to throw the football very, very quickly, and they thankfully designed the offense, or at least this week did, to get the ball out of his hands quickly. So if we can just continue to improve the protection, slowly but surely, Jalen Mayfield settles down, Kaleb McGary starts playing a little bit better, then I think that obviously they're going to win this football game regardless, but protecting Matt Ryan was going to be a key almost every single week, and so we slide it in here at key number 4. Number 5. This is something that they've struggled with the past couple of games, and that, of course, is getting stops early, right? And later on in the game against the Giants, they had a really good third quarter, a couple of 3-and-outs, a couple of sacks, but early on in games, teams are marching up and down on this defense. Get some stops early. Get the ball back to your offense where you're not in a whole 10-0, you're not in a whole 13-0, not in a whole 7-10 or whatever it is. Get some stops early will go a long way for the Matt Ryan and the offense, and it'll hopefully grow some confidence in this Dean Pease defense that has gotten shredded here the first couple of weeks. So there are my 5 keys to the game. I'll give you my score prediction in a second. Give me yours, though, right now. I want your official score prediction down below in the comments section. Are you taking the Falcons to win? If so, what's the score? If not, give me the Giants and Falcons score regardless. I want to see, and I'll read those comments down below right now. My prediction, as I said earlier, Falcons are going to roll here. I think they win 27-17. I'm out on the Giants being good. I think they're going to be firing Joe Judge at the end of the year. I don't think Daniel Jones is that great. I think the Falcons can take advantage of what is a reeling Giants football team and get a big win here, which would put them at 1-2, and hopefully get them back to 500 in a couple of weeks as the schedule has evened out and gotten a little bit easier after the Bucs and the Eagles. I go Falcons 27, Giants 17. All right, ultimate update on our Atlanta Falcons preview video for Week 3. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Plenty of great videos coming up the next couple of days and weeks, including a mailbag video in the next couple of days. I'm Thomas Mott. Go Falcons. We sign off for the rest of your day.